What's happening? It's yours truly, Javon Freeman, back with another one. Just want to start this off by saying add me on Instagram at b.o.n.experience. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share the link, spread it around, and all that good stuff. I think this is going to be a good one. Haven't watched it yet. I do like the title of it. You're distracted and broke. A lot of people are distracted and don't even know it. And the times we are living in, hey man, we all going through it. We all try to find a way. I ain't gonna say we all. Some people are in different positions than others, but you know, this may hit home for some. This may not. Who knows? But let's see what you got to say.
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. You know why we call ourselves bag chasers on the Patreon? It's really being bag catchers. It's not even about being a bag chaser. It's about being a bag catcher. Being a bag chaser, it just sounds better. You know what I'm saying? It rings a little bit different. But being a bag chaser is basically being productive. And the one thing that I see people complaining about on a regular basis is they always want to force you to be quiet about how successful you are. And the reason that they do that is because it makes them feel better about themselves. Instead of them leveling up and using what you do as inspiration, they look at it as you stunting on them, right?
Not even a full minute in. Talking that talk. I mean, man, I can honestly say 24 years, like, the lessons I've learned just by doing hard work and doing what I was supposed to do and finding success for myself, and I still got a long way to go. It's still early in the game for me, man. Like, oh man, the amount of time. Look, man, I'll tell you, when you find success, you inevitably breed confidence within yourself. When you find that confidence and it's merit based confidence, like the proof has been in the pudding, your conversation changed. The way you talk to people just changed. And man, oh man, it's like, let's get back into this, man. That hit home for me. I'm talking about it may hit home for y'all. It hit home for me.
And I've always found this to be hilarious because there's always going to be two groups of people. It's kind of like the glass half full and the glass half empty mentality. Somebody can look at a situation and say, man, it's an opportunity over there. And then other people can look at the situation and say, man, it's messed up out here. And it could be the exact same situation for both people. But the reason that I always talk about being a bag chaser or focusing on my grind and hustling and this stuff is because the distractions are always going to be there, but you have to pick and choose the thing that you want to be distracted by. Everybody is distracted by something. Some people are more purposeful, and so they're distracted by stuff that's productive for them, that add value.
Yo, that is 100% facts. Like, I never forget when I was still working in Connecticut, I was telling my co-worker at the time, like, yo, man, you can't, if you want to get some things done, you gotta get rid of social media and whatnot. And he was looking at me, he was like, but you be on social media, this, that, and the third. And I explained it to him. I'm like, listen, our social medias ain't the same. When I get on social media, I'm still learning. It's almost as if I'm picking up books. I intentionally change my algorithm. A lot of people don't even know that you can intentionally change your algorithm for it can only be informational stuff. Now, granted, you have to sift through what information is good or not, but even that is going to help you with your resource finding and your primary source analysis skills. And then you start, like, I got foreign languages, uh, uh, all kinds of stuff, medical advancement, political advancement. Uh, like, I kid you not, when I get on social media, it's not like to sit back to learn. Don't get me wrong. That algorithm tries to force feed you stuff here and there, but at the same time, it is stuff that maybe I've seen in my subconscious. I know how the system works just by doing research on these algorithms. And so I was explaining to him. He was like, "Yeah, right." And I showed him. I'm like, "Listen, my stuff is not what you're looking at." I said, "Pull up your Instagram," and we did an active comparison, and it was not the same, you know. So we're all going to be distracted by stuff, but what are you choosing to be distracted by is, yeah, that's big, man.
Value into their life, right? I like cars. I like watch.
Hold on. Advertisements. We'll figure out a way around this.
Going to the game and sitting courtside. So I do the things that's productive that would then put me in a position to be able to make the decision of whether or not I want to do that or not. Other people decide to be distracted by bullshit every day that's not adding value into their life. They get distracted on Facebook, and I find Facebook, even when you pick certain social media platforms, I found that Facebook is probably the least productive platform of all. It don't even pay the same as other platforms, so why would I participate on it? I'm not on social media and I'm not doing content creation just for the sake of doing content creation. I'm doing it to add value into people's lives and then extract the resources off of it. And if I can't do
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I keep an Instagram because I have faith that there was always money in Instagram. But there's just certain things I won't do, and I'm not rushing the money per se. But at a certain point, man, I'm finna get that bread crazy, crazy. But yeah, like I tell you all the time, you're not gonna find me on Twitter. You're not gonna find me on Facebook. I'm not on Snapchat. I'm not on TikTok. Uh, yeah, I'm on none of that. You got me on YouTube and you got me on Instagram. And after a certain point, nah, I need that money. What I got to do to get that money? And I ain't gonna sell my soul for it, but you ain't gonna see me wasting my time. You want my attention? My attention is my time. So
do that, I'm not just going to be there arguing with you. And so, what you see, and let me correlate the two. What I see is that people that are dusty tend to not like people that are productive, and they don't want to see you shine, so they're going to tell you to be more humble, right? I've never
yo, man, you gotta beware. You gotta beware, and this is where that mental toughness gets developed and kicked in too. Even your own family might be dusty. It may suck to say, but yo, man, nah, son. If you really productive, you doing what you gotta do. You putting yourself in the best position, and all of a sudden, every time you get around certain people, your life just start going backwards. Nah, dog, that's a sign. You gotta pay attention to that stuff.
never ever in my life, and those type of people tend to be on Facebook. I've never in my life seen somebody who is incredibly successful say you should stay humble or see what God can do to you. Think about that for a minute. For
Me
all of
neither.
the people that's productive, for the people that haven't got there yet, for the people that's growing, for the Henrys, right? High earning but not rich yet. For all of the people that's already there and is doing really well in their respective fields or in their environment or in their culture, how many people have you ever seen incredibly successful try to humble you?
Yo, man, I say it all the time. I've been in rooms with millionaires. Millionaires don't try to humble millionaires. And I've never had a million, but just my attitude alone, I never forget. Who was it? Oh, man. I think I was still in college. I might have been in college. Um, no, I might have been home off on break from college. Came across this guy who was doing financing and all that stuff. And he did financing and real estate. And we were having a conversation. He was getting to know me and whatnot. He was like, "Yo, bro, you got the perfect attitude for what it is you're trying to do. Keep going. Don't slow down. Don't quiet down for nobody. Double down on everything you're doing." And the way I was talking, he was like, "Man, just the way you talk alone, you have everything it takes." So, man, that's success. It takes one to know one. And when you genuinely are successful within yourself, you confident within yourself, you ain't trying to tear nobody else down. Really not.
They don't. They give you more game, they give you more insight. As a matter of fact, I would also say that people that have resources, they tend to be nicer.
Yo,
They absolutely are. When you get to know them, when you get to actually be around them, not whatever it is that they projected themselves to be, you know what I'm saying, if they're a public figure, but when you get to kick it with people in a environment that allows for them to actually show you who they are, they tend to be nicer. Absolutely, they're nicer. And the reason that they're nicer is because they're doing well in life. The only time you will see, and this is how you got to pick and choose.
I just want to add it, he's subtly flexing. He just got up just so he could show the rest of what's around. I like that setup. I ain't gonna cap. He got the lights under the shelves. I do some shit like that. But I don't know if that screen is flush to the wall. They got that stuff where the screen is flush to the wall. I'm trying to have a whole office set up like, Man, let me get off this. I'm getting this bag right. Just wait. Just wait.
choose the people that you want to listen to and the people that
Oh,
um,
that TV does look flush to the wall. Oh,
of whether or not they actually add value into your life.
see, he flexing right now. He got a fish tank under the. Yo, I'm trying to get up. That I'm trying to get up like that. But it's all right. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. It's still early in my game. Just wait.
The only time I ever see somebody say, "Hey, stay humble," or God can put you in a negative space, no, he not. No, he not. God wants you to be awesome. God wants you to be rich. As a matter of fact, there's people that's rich that don't even believe in God.
Yeah.
There's people that's rich that don't even believe in God, right? So when you see those type of comments, when you see that type of stuff, I already know the type of space that that person is in because I know that they dusty. I already know it. It's not even a question. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick and choose your circle. Be careful of who it is that you surround yourself with. Make sure that you continue to pour into yourself, invest in yourself, and also be very, very, very careful never to get distracted.
Try this bedtime trick to stop your partner's.
I ain't doing a whole bunch of stuff right now. Let's get back to this.
This is a video in which I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. It's Sunday. I'm in a studio. I stay busy. It doesn't matter if it's Monday or Sunday. I am always going to get up at the same time. Most of the time, I'm going to hit the studio or I'm always going to
It
be
is
productive my
Sunday.
first part of the day. I don't change my routine. I don't get distracted by women, people, any of that type of stuff, regardless of how it is that we joke and play online. It's always going to be productivity first. Everything is always going to be productivity. Every day I feel like I have to grow. Two things that I have to do every single day when it comes to productivity. Number one, I got to be purposeful, right? So I'm never going to miss, ever. I'm never going to miss. Take care of the business.
Yeah, I ain't going to cap. Every day I gotta feel like I'm getting at least 1% better. While I was working, I went out. One of the very few times I went out with my coworkers. We went to get drinks and happened to be with some people that I knew from my childhood, and I sat next to them with and I'm just peeping the vibes. I knew that they was not so much uncomfortable, but they just didn't know how to approach me because so many people counted me out. I made decisions that most people didn't think I would make, and I still found a great way above everything that I've done. And I'm still going crazy. Like I said, still early in the game for me. So, but we was sitting there, we had a couple drinks, and it didn't dawn on me, but it dawned on me right now. She was like, "Yo, you still she asked me, she said, you still focus on self-development and all that stuff?" And my natural response after we was drinking, I'm like, of course, it's a lifetime journey. Like, and then we didn't say anything after that. She was quiet the rest of the night. Shout out to her. But yeah, man, like that was when I was having that conversation with the real estate guy or a real estate investor. Man, I've even spoken to people that have their own brokerage firms and all that stuff. Yeah, shout out to I was working at the news station at the time. Um, yeah, nah, they even when I explained that to them, they're like, bro, you're inevitably going to shoot past people. Yeah, like it's inevitable because the guy that had his own investment brokerage firm, he asked me what my grades were like. He heard me say something along those lines too. Of I put 1 foot forward every day, doing the best I can just to get 1% better every day. He was like, "Oh, so you're in his words, because he was an A student. I think he went to private school. Um, but he was like, "Oh, so you're an A student and chooses to get B's, but has to work that ethic of a C student. You're inevitably going to be rich. You're like." And I asked him, "Would you give me an apprenticeship?" He was like, "Nah, you got too much. You got a lot ahead of you." So I'm like, was I overqualified? I don't know, but yeah, man, like that's one thing that and I think is uh, unilateral amongst people that actually want success and that is built to handle mass amounts of money and attention and be a focal point for a lot of people is that they're not burdening themselves with, I gotta be great today, but every day I have to do my greatest. You see, so it manifests inevitably, and it's not so much a straight shot up, but it's more progressive.
Before you play, then go play later. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I have to be better than I was the day before. So even if it's incremental progress, I'm cool with that.
That's why I tell people I'm a trade market and all that good stuff. I just gotta get the capital up. But yeah, I'm a trade market. S square TP, single steps towards progression. I gotta be better than what I was yesterday. Like it's ingrained. Like when you truly want these things, it's ingrained in you. Like, oh man.
You don't have to make leaps and strides every single day, but incremental progress ultimately leads to being rich as fuck. And that's really what it comes down to. And so a lot of people are going to try to humble you. A lot of people are going to try to, tell you what you can and can't do. Very few people are going to add value into your life. You got to separate them. Don't feel obligated to continue to kick it with Dusties and keep it moving, bro. So many distracted. 99% of the population is distracted. That's why they all consumers. 99% of the population is distracted. They get distracted by rap beefs. And don't get me wrong, it's cool to be entertained, it's cool to have fun, but I don't give a fuck about, for example, Kendrick Lamar or whether or not Drake is beefing. That don't add no money into my pocket.
No,
That's the only
no.
reason that I would care for it. I don't give a fuck about anything that's not adding money into my pocket or that's not add value. I don't even care about the people that y'all care about unless it adds value into my life.
Pretty
you know
much.
what I'm saying? So y'all gotta be very, very careful. Separate yourself from the haves and the have-nots. Separate yourself, haves and the have-nots. This is not a race war.
No.
It is not a.
It is, what is it? Wealth and resources. That's what war stands for. A lot of the words in the modern day. This is when you're truly learning, studying words, reading your books. A lot of the words that we have are acronyms and they're mashup words from multiple languages which hold multiple meanings, but the modern definition alludes to prior meanings but has a more fit meaning for the day in which we're living. But war, wealth and resources, power, prisoners of war. Prisoners of war, economic resources. Yeah. See, so I mean, it's not about race. Race is a sub factor which gets you more power and which can lead to more war. But man, yeah, you gotta pay attention, man. You gotta separate yourself.
A war when it comes to identity and gender and all of this stuff. This is a class war. It's a war based off of principality, spirituality, and class.
Spirituality is a big one, which is why I keep doing videos trying to get you to understand the esoterics and just the energies around you. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna beat the horse well after it's turned into dust. Pause. In the English language alone, it's considered a simple language for a reason. It's not a weak language for a reason, not because it's not strong. It's because the value compared to other language is at a lower degree. It's very, very powerful of a language. Even though all verbal communication is at best 8%, it's still very powerful in its own right. And in the English language, the word energy and spirit are synonymous. So in the proper context, they can be used interchangeably. You can be talking about the spirit of a house, referring to its electrical circuit. We aren't taught this in regular school, but when you get up, do the work, you get 1% better every day. These are the things you are going to learn inevitably.
Class part is the real life lived experiences of what we experience on a daily basis. And then the culture part and the principalities and the spirituality is very much a part of what it is that we see being programmed as our cultural norms. That's it. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is.
I'm on my way. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm on my way. Y'all gonna be the ones catching up to me. I would say, and I'm saying that humbly. I'm saying that humbly. And
Is a distraction. Stay focused, stay purposeful. And let me say this other thing.
stay prayed up.
Do not let a woman get you off of your purpose.
I'm tired of this man flexing in this video. Like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Anton Daniels. I see what you're doing. It's alright. Keep going. Keep going. I see what you're doing.
It's so easy for y'all to get knocked off your square by focusing on women. Them hoes is gonna ruin your life, bro. And every woman is not a hoe. So if the shoe fit, wear it. Every dude is not a dusty.
Nah, every dude is not a dusty, but you gotta be able to recognize them.
Fit, wear it. The only people that's gonna get upset by it is the people that it hurts, and the people that's living a lifestyle that's reflective of what it is that I'm saying right now. Every woman is not a hoe. Every dude is not a dusty. And so you got to make sure that you stay away from people that are unproductive, that's not adding value into your life. Other than that, you good. Incremental progress, enjoy life, become better every single day, and don't focus on the things that everybody else is focused on. Focus on leveling up, focus on being successful, and focus on aligning yourself with people that's going in the direction that you're going in, and you good, bro. Like, even when it comes to sports and all of this stuff, man, I don't care about none of this stuff. I mean, it's fun. It's the thing that we dreamed about when we was younger, but do it add value into your life for you to be so concerned about it? It's people that know LeBron James stats more than they know their own bank account.
For real.
It's people that know how much LeBron made more than they know about how much they made. They can't even project their own earnings for the year, but they already can tell you what LeBron's endorsements are. They can tell you every single trade inside of the NBA. Like, unless you actually getting some money from it, or unless you actually being productive as a result of it, what's the point? There's people that play video games all day, every day, and it don't add no value into their life.
None at all.
Is it one thing to be recreational? Absolutely.
Yep.
But it's another thing when it starts to affect your productivity on other ends. If you can't balance the two, you need to let something go. It's people that focus so much on hoes that they can't even go and focus on their job. They will call off work in order to go and get some box. Man, I'm not going to give up no bread for you. You know what I'm saying? It's really about being productive. It's not about being distracted about anything else. Be focused, be productive, and stay out the way. Get your money, get your bags, and stay focused. That's your Sunday lesson. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you.
Yeah, shout out Anton Daniels to that one. He says everything that I be saying, and this is where great minds think alike. We don't, and that doesn't mean that they're an exact match. I don't always agree with everything everybody says, for I am my own man, I am my own person. However, this is something that I 100% endorse, even myself, and who am I? You know, again, single steps toward progression. Don't beat yourself into a pulp. You don't got to be the greatest today, but every day you give your greatest, you're going to be great inevitably. Inevitably. There we go. So it's, and don't let nobody tear you down. When you're growing, you're progressing, you gotta stay mentally tough. You gotta stay mentally tough, because the universe is inevitably going to separate you. When you're doing the work, you're inevitably going to be separated from those that aren't doing the work. That's just how the universe works. Like things end up with like things. That's just how it works. Now, opposites do attract, but you gotta be intentional. That's what separates us from the cats, the dogs, the monkeys, the lions, tigers, bears, beetles, ladybugs, butterflies, dragonflies. We can talk and analyze in a different perspective, and plus we got these things right here, so we can do more. We can put ourselves in different positions and different opportunities, so we don't have to end up with opposites that are negative for us. We can end up with opposites that create an overall net positive, but man, you don't want nobody tearing you down, and then you got to sit there and dig yourself out of a hole, because pointing the finger ain't going to do you any more justice when you're the one down bad. Anyway, this was fun. Shout out to Anton Daniels. Link will be in the description. Credit for the content creator. Tap in with me on IG. Email me on IG at the b.o.n.experience. Here on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell for whenever I get ready to drop something, you'll always be notified. And hey, even if you don't like it, put a dislike. That's alright. Tell me how you feel. Put it in the comments. That rocks with me. Ciao.